What up, man? How are you doing today? We're smoking Khalifa Kush today, and we're trying to get ready for another trip tomorrow. But as I got some time, I wanted to show you some cool stuff. Now, this is the thing, okay? You can obviously read it from the title of the video, but what I want you to do, okay, as we go into the end of July, all right, already on the hour chart. Cool. Now, as we already go into like the end of July, okay, I want you to be understanding of what's on the screen for a few different assets. Um, I do care obviously about the Nasdaq. Um, what I care more about gold right now, just because gold's been a lot more fun. Like, and what I mean by that, like in my definition, like you get bored trading the same shit, man. Or at least I do. I don't know. Since it's not hard to really see what I want each asset to do, knowing the time-based algorithm like the back of your hand, it all does the similar thing anyway. So when you get to like gold versus Nasdaq, it's not like the actual algorithm is that much different, but those small differences, man, make gold so much fun. It really does. However, what I want you to do coming into next week on Nasdaq, um, and same with gold when I'm saying this, but just mostly Nasdaq here. We have, and again, not looking to explain it the full way through. Again, you can come to Discord for that. But I'm letting you know now. I'm letting you know now. Are we into the end of July, right? Hey Siri, open the calendar. All right, so coming into the end of July, right? We got, yeah, this is literally the very, very last week. It will be August 1st, like next weekend. All right. So that being said, brother, I want you to take this weekend, the same thing I told my students, right? Take this weekend to get mentally prepped. I mean, whatever you need to do, that means get all of, you know, get all your snacks, get all your movies. And you know me, I just play video games and shit while I'm trading 9 times out of 10. So, like, whatever you need to do to get yourself to be fully relaxed so you can be fully focused next week. But I need your attention all next week, okay? You want to make some money? Next week is the time. Now, the reason why I'm also saying we're not in Kansas anymore. Okay? By Kansas, I mean quarter 1 of the year. You've probably noticed, right? Some of these ranges that we have, either per day or per week, right? People permitted to have really wide. This is almost 7,000, almost 2,000 points is insane, right? And like we said, even this week, once again, you got some ridiculous range, right? That's almost 5,000 ticks in a week. Dog, listen, everything is far, okay? Now, what I need you to also understand about not just next week. And again, just keep this in mind as we're going forward. Okay. Yes, we've talked about like Q1, we talked about Q2, Q3, and then Q4, of course. And just so you're understanding, right? Like Q1 of the year, I'm directly talking about January, February, March. Okay. All right. You got April, May, June. Q3, you have July, August, and September. Q4, October, November, December. All right. Everything is fully even, right? It's fully even. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, like, not to say it like that, nickname is Kansas, right? We are not in Kansas anymore, where the ranges are a lot smaller and there are a lot of characteristics that I can teach you from quarter to quarter. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but just a few basic ideas just so you have an idea, right? Um, it's going to be slightly more wild in the Q2, right? The ranges are going to be slightly bigger. And then you're going to get a really, really interesting start to the summer. Ranges can be quite big, as you can see. And same thing with Q4, where the ranges can also be quite big. Okay. Just going to keep it that simple for my newer traders. Okay. Now, what I want you to also understand, Patrick, is that when you kind of like really sit down to like core IT, right? Of course, all of the stuff that we typically do in terms of like algorithmic price delivery, a lot about his work and love newer stuff. Like we said, of our previous videos about comparing the older GB to trifecta, right? But what you've also understood is that it's two sides of the same coin. You're not like using different information technically. Make sense? It's just a different way to think about to use a dealing range. But if you're really still confused on like even the idea of a dealing range, brother, like you can still do that like the old school ICT way, do it naturally. You have a natural premium and discount. However, speaking about these, so you've noticed, brother, we're talking about, right? Whether it's per day or per week, the ranges right now are quite big. As we go forward in this lecture, what I need you to understand, and again, I'm just breezing through a interesting lecture that I, but I also, fuck, I didn't lose lighter. Chill, I didn't lose it. I just can't find it. Hold on. What the fuck does that even mean? Um, Small review on the Khalifa Kush while I'm looking for the lighter. It's excellent, honestly. Um, it's I found it. It's the only way to describe Khalifa Kush is like, and we all know me. I'm the productive stoner. It's perfect. I can't even. It smokes nice. It tastes nice. It doesn't feel gross. I mean, we like good weed, man. And last time, I don't know. I think I was telling you guys about this. I had a version of this, but it was mixed with a slightly different phenotype. And I tried another version of it, and it was mixed with a whole different strain called the white. And I did not enjoy that. Not gonna lie, because it kind of felt more towards like a base sativa. Not my thing, dude. I smoke heavy indicas throughout the day, all day, and I hang out with my Discord, right? So like whether we're in like one on one, you guys already know I'm typically smoking while we're talking. But when it comes to risk management, right? I was thinking about this in times of like not just like this time of the year, but thinking again fractally about the concept in general. But like for you just using Q3 again as the base example, okay? Since the ranges are bigger, right? Yeah, we move far for profits, but that also means what? Yeah, you've probably noticed something, my friend. Now, I need you to not be Patrick, but I need you to be SpongeBob. I need you to kind of soak up some information, right? Really get it. And just again, doing a basic version of keeping it very simple. We're talking about a bigger range. It don't take uh a lot of thought to realize that like you don't need a lot of size to make a lot of money. Is like the base point. So like I totally get when you're worried, right, about taking these moves and these retracements being we hot down here, right? Like, listen, brother, we fully understand if you took this buy move here, okay? Yeah, you got to be on your shit, dog, because you're not going to enjoy a 10-minute 400 tick retracement. No, you're not holding that. Not to say it like that, but bigger range, bigger retracement, okay? However, moving on from this idea for a moment, what I want you to also do with this, okay? Since we have access to, like, again, thousands of ticks per session, right? And not just talking New York, I'm talking Asia, I'm talking PM session. I need you to get to a point where you're not doing this right here. Since we have these bigger ranges, I know it makes you feel really worried. So, like, especially about being right or being wrong, what I need you to do is start to be able to invalidate yourself. Okay. We talked on this channel a lot about being a better narrator, right? And just simply what I'm showing you right now is just nothing but a daily gap. Right? So, like, why I was interested in this daily gap, and I'm giving you all the keys to what I like in terms of what's active. Okay. And again, the range is being so fucking big, it doesn't make it that much scarier than like a Q2 or a Q1. You just have to understand that like once you actually get your entry, it's not that much to worry about, but you have to actually alter how you trade manage from a Q1, Q2, Q3 perspective. Now, the reason why I teach all these things differently throughout my mentorship, right? Like you ever have like, oh my God, I can feel the smoke hitting like my mustache and it's like really annoying. But when you're thinking about the retracements itself, right? Yes, they're a little bigger. So that, like I said earlier, really think about how much money you're trying to make, whether it's per week or whether it's per day or whether it's per session. I'm asking you personally, okay? Like, how much money do you need? Because if you're dealing with bigger ranges, okay, you can simply do some better math, and not have to force yourself through actually trading that you're actually not comfortable with. Understand right now you're trading that eval and then you just want to get it done, right? About like anybody's familiar with like Jared Handler or any of the other really, really great authors that do the best work in risk management and psychology. They're really, really awesome, right? Because they offer ways to just not worry about the chart, right? So like over time, I really got to like I say all the time, I have like this kind of fuck it attitude. Like since it's an algorithm, right? There's a point to everything. Up or down has objectives. We're not going up or down without a reason, brother. So when we talk about like what the fuck we're actually looking at here, we're looking at a daily gap. And what's the actual deal out here? Jet you betcha is your monthly gap. And I'm giving you this right now. So, like I said, I'm trying to get you ready for next week. Okay. In terms of risk management, like we said, your retracements are a lot bigger. So I understand in Q1 or maybe Q2, you got so accustomed to, yo, I finally got comfortable with like 10, 20, 15 contracts, whatever the case is, 20 contracts. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm down. Those same retracements, right? You probably noticed. It only takes 2 to 3 minutes to fuck your account up real quick. Yes, you can be a part of a 1,500 tick move, but you're not going to have that without 150, 200, 250 tick retracement. See what I'm trying to say, right? Now, with that being said, if you can simply just do the math on this, right? Even if you're just measuring things by ticks, count in twos. I say it all the time. If you're able to count in twos, you're going to get to a spot where like, and again, everything's objective based. Okay. So whether it's on the day or on the week or on the session, this is not the hardest narrative in the world, brother. Right. And again, we love liquidity. Okay. These were very, very active by the time you woke up this morning. Right. These were active. You had buy side liquidity here. You had some sell side liquidity. But again, if you are narrating, we talked on this channel before about how to use gaps a little better. So, not going to go into a whole lecture about it. I have lectures on that in Discord. But knowing how to use your new day opening gap correctly, okay? Now, understand you're going to be worrying because even as you're getting like a clean visual on the way down, you might still be freaking out that it didn't take out all of the liquidity. I hear this so often, but I need you to understand, okay? It's not just you freaking out about every leg that is up or down. And yes, the retracements are big, but I guarantee you, and let me know if this sounds familiar, you're probably getting stuck on the lower time frame and you're literally looking at this thing, stalking every candle to where yes, you're looking at these things like, no, 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 and you're freaking out. You actually might have had a fire entry early. And the same thing that I actually told my students today. I need you to not do this thing where just because it's not 9:50 in the morning or just because it's not that exact macro that's popular, if you see something on the screen that you like early, I have some criteria for this. Yes, you can trade early. It's not impossible, brother. Yes, they get you to move this thing directly at 9:35 versus 9:50 and 10 o'clock, right? So I'm not saying there's not nothing to do later in the day, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? If you want to be that guy to only wait for the macro, sure, 9:50 is right here, so you're not too far away. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like you could fully give a fuck about a clear fair value gap. I understand. You're gonna say, well, oh no, 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 I can't do that. It doesn't really work. It worked today. It doesn't really work. I get what I get it. But I need you to also not get stuck on that 1 minute fucking chart. Okay. Now, in terms of other context that I actually care about, let's come up here. Now we talk about that daily gap here. All right. Now, really quick, brother. Now we talk about these old levels, right? I personally think the older levels are goaded because, and watch, my brother's gonna call me in a moment. He's gonna be like, "Are you watching Spider-Man?" Because right now, me, my girl, and all my brothers are like rewatching all the Spider-Man movies before um Brand New Day comes out. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I just rewatched all of Tobey Maguire, and we finished that yesterday. Mm. Tobey Maguire is my favorite fucking Spider-Man right now. And I'm old, but he's fucking goated. And I'm talking like 20-year-old movies, dog. Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 3 are my favorites. Probably Spider-Man 3 is my favorite, actually. Spider-Man 3 is literally insane, dog. Like watching it again as an adult is so ridiculous, dude. And like looking at some of these like older movies, I really don't think that we're ever going to have a golden age of movies ever again. I don't think it's possible. Now, that being said, the reason why I have so much time to watch fucking movies is because I'm looking to be organized. I've already seen what's going on here. And don't worry, we'll recap. We'll do a recap. But what I'm showing you, okay? Right now, we're in between a 4 hour and a daily chart. Okay. And what we're doing right now, you notice how, like, again, we're talking about Q3, right? So, like, that's July. All right. Now, this is the start to July. Okay. So, we'll put the line on the 30th. All right. Like we said, we've had some big range sessions, days, weeks. All right. And it feels like, holy shit, like they just handing out money in this bitch, right? But this is what I need you to understand. All right. Real quick, we are on, had to get myself out of the way, 2187. Okay. What is clear about this? And why do you think I love the old Goldback visual? I know the trifecta is popular, but I still think, me personally, that this is the best visual. To me, it's straight to the point. I know we have extra lines for trifecta that might be above and below you. And a lot of times people get really, really turned around with some of these rebalance layers, of course, on the trifecta, and even sometimes rushing the blue layer, how I talk about that a lot. But even aside of this, right? We're talking about how from Q3 starts, yes, these ranges are fucking big as fuck. But what are we doing in reality? We're really just finishing the 2187. Okay. Now you probably noticed something, dog. Now we on a 4 hour chart. I'll bring it down here. And we pop on our days again. All right. And our weeks again. All right. Now, what you can do, super gem that I have for you. Okay. And this is the thing I tell you guys all the time. The stuff that I pick to even teach you on my free YouTube here, like this free YouTube mentorship, is like basic versions of stuff that I teach in my actual mentorship. So if you're in Discord or if you're in like my actual mentorship, we got some way cool stuff to really be talking about. However, what I want you to know that like since we are playing with like time and price, right? And everybody prioritizes that phrase, right? But I'll elect to actually give you something cool. Yeah, you can see some pretty cool stuff when time and price get aligned. But you can also get some cool stuff when you pick one time or price. I want to leave you with your imagination as to why I said that differently. However, what you can do, and I'll leave that to the side, what you can do with some of these bigger ranges, okay, it's just for form factor, right? Like say, for example, right? You can do this with your like 729. I'm talking about the older GB level. You can do a trifecta too, but I'm just saying, visually, it's a lot easier with this one. 729 or 2187, you can come in here. And this is not like one of my crazier secrets. Like my Discord doesn't care about this one as much. Take the bigger dealing ranges, of course. You don't really need the 65, 61. You can do it with this, but I feel like it's a little better with these two. So what I'm referring to, okay? When you actually get to the session you're looking to trade, whether it's in Asia or whether it's in New York or whatever, pay attention to actually what level that we actually start that session. You want to get a good sense on that market um like order flow or like how it's going to feel or whatever function that you think is going to be overall responsible, and especially going into like a New York kill zone. Do you see how like even on this one right here, right? This say Wednesday, July 15th, if you want to go back and look at this one, right? And wasn't this an excellent day? Yeah. But this is what I need you to understand. Us being in some of these bigger levels, right? When you start inside again, listen to what I'm saying about like 729 or 2187. You start inside the kill zone from any one of these levels. You obviously see it's going to be a fun time. I'm talking like damn near immediately. So you see how when I get rid of, and this is your Sunday here, you start the week here. Again, this is your liquidity void level. You can tell me this is easy, right? Because it is. Okay. You've been watching my channel for a while. You know what these levels are. So when you're starting that Asia or you're starting that New York from a direct 729 or a 2187 liquidity void level, yes, it's as cool as you think it is. Get creative. Are we in a premium or a discount? Above your EQ, you're in a premium. So what you're going to do is what? Sell it, sell it down, sell it, sell it. Now, again, it's not just the liquidity void that I care about. We love the LV because it'll take you to the LV store. But what I need you to also understand, right? Now, really quick, okay? Let's take this off and we'll get back to this daily gap. We don't need it. Again, preparing you for next week, okay? So we're talking about a gang of things that's going to help you. Again, speaking about risk management, okay? In general, go what I call low and slow, okay? So that means you as a trader, you the user, you need to slow yourself down. I know you feel like the algorithm runs a million miles a minute and it kind of can be fast, but it's not moving that fast where you have to rush yourself in and out of trades. You don't have to rush yourself in and out of trades. If it is the right function that you're looking to use and you do it correctly, you will not be forced into the shit. It will feel comfortable. Okay. Slow yourself down. And when I say low and slow, low meaning less contracts right now. And like we said, Q3, the ranges are big in general, so they're going to pay you more. But that's not without bigger retracements. Do you see this area right here, right? And again, this is the 16th of July. Okay. If I come down here and look at that same area on a 5 minute, all right. Um, my brother, man, you probably noticed something. You probably came in the marketplace like, what the fuck? You was probably ready to fuck some shit up. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I understand some people will come in the marketplace and right now it feels like you got to build your adrenaline, right? It feels like you got to be like so focused and you got to like really lock in. Like you don't even got music on. Like you in a dark room by yourself, like just stressing out. Like, dog, number one, chill the fuck out. You're going to get this trading shit down. I don't want you to keep coming every day. Like you're not going to accomplish this. And plus, I'm with you right here. I got you. You can't help but to get nice at this shit. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. The marketplace is never actually trying to hurt you. It's the user error is where we go wrong. But again, not being aware, okay? So a cool thing that you can do coming into a kill zone, go to that 729 or go to that 2187. And like I said, feeling happy because I'm giving you a gem today. What level is that? If the red line is my EQ, you should know what level is right above and below it. If you don't know, oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, that's so funny to me. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, right? If you wake up and you happen to be in one of these levels, especially if you wake up in one of these levels, I'm trying to tell you, that is not going to be the funnest opening to that session. It's not going to be the cleanest price action going into your 930 or going into your optimal trade entry. It's going to feel kind of stagnant, scary, overly because you're in the Q3 right now. Everything's big, right? Everything's Texas. But what I'm telling you, right? Right when you're in that area and you wake up, we'll speed this up. You wake up and you're in a breaker or mitigation block level. We like the mitigation block, so I'm not gonna pick on it, but I'm more so specifically talking about the breaker level. Now, since they are peanut butter and jelly, students know what that means. Yes, you're gonna have like them working together, but at the same time, you wake up in a kill zone and yeah, it's gonna be rough for you, brother. That's what I'm trying to get at. So now let's go back to the 15. I want to look at this current week again. Now, keep this in mind, what we just talked about. Okay. So as we go through this week with that same idea, okay, just keeping it very simple. It's not the only way I trade. No, it's one of the things that I like to do. Because again, I like being lazy, right? So I like being able to pick the content I like every day. Having over 70 ways to fucking trade is why I do this. So I can mix and match the concepts that I like at any time, brother. whether I'm using just generic market structure, which is very easy for me. And like I said, bro, I always spend my time making sure you guys are market structure experts first, and then we do everything else in terms of algorithmic alternatives. Now, brother, man, what level is this in general? What level is that? It's your Monday. And again, the whole week, you're in what level? Do you see where I'm what I'm trying to get at? Okay. Keep that in mind. Is this the cleanest New York session of all time? You tell me. You tell me. Coming from a breaker level, I don't think so. No. A session directly in a breaker level, it's not terrible. I'm not saying it's all terrible. No. But is this the cleanest of the New Yorks that you can think of, even from a 15 or a 5 minute perspective? Watch. And like I said, we've already established what level we're in. So, like we said, is this the cleanest of New York's? And like we said, retracements, right? Even when it comes to the main direction of the day, even if it comes to rebalancing something, right? You're still having wicks that are 165 ticks. You're still having retracements that are almost 300. You get what I'm trying to say, which is why I reminded you from the start of the lecture. We're talking a little bit about this and about that, but risk management, you're not in an environment where you actually need to put on so much size to accomplish your goal on that eval or your funded account or even your personal one. But when it comes to these retracements being hundreds of ticks, that's on us to be ready and responsible. Don't size up like that if you're uncomfortable. Don't do it. And listen, not to say it like that, brother, but you can position yourself. Let's say you still are able to run this 900 plus tick move, right? Okay. And then go up there. But what we're talking about, if you actually size down, let's say you got in from down here, right? You size down. And the time is actually like a perfect macro, right? It's right in your macro window. So you notice that core optimal trade entry still. And in general, we love the scenario. And like I said, I'm always making sure you can do market structure first, always. It's just a basic turtle soup, which is why this is not in reality. But what I'm saying, being responsible for the trade management in a Q2 or Q3 is not going to be how you do it in a Q1. It's just simply not. So you getting excited in a Q1, like, oh my God, Jay, the biggest trade I ever took. Oh my God, I caught me a whole 81, damn near 306. Oh my God, it took me a year to figure it out how to do that. You're gonna come to a Q2 or a Q3 and you're gonna be like, yo, these retracements are whole trades in themselves. God damn. But this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. I've said it 10 times, but the ranges are bigger in Q3. But just because they're bigger don't mean they're better or cleaner, rather. Okay. That's like the kind of inside little joke that I've been kind of giving to my students, right? But like we said, understanding full context or understanding liquidity better or understanding just how to, you know, validate or invalidate yourself. I need you to be better. As I'm coming into like the later part of this lecture, the core part of this, okay? Like we said, we understand this, okay? But this is no fun. No. And again, it's all going to be pertaining to the level that you wake up in. So that's still that same, what is it? That's that Tuesday, right? Yeah. Like we said, it's the same thing. Same goal back level. Remember, same goal back level all the way until we leave that Thursday. Okay? Keep that in mind. So, like we said, brother, yeah, we got some clean stuff. It'll hand out some cool stuff as we get later in the week. And I'm not going to go into why. But like I said, you kind of want to be on your P's and Q's. You start things in that breaker level. Because, like I said, they are trying to really shake some people out, really break some people, no pun intended. So, like we said, this is very clean. Another clean turtle soup, right? And it's fire because I'm thinking about Trevor right now. Like, me talking about algorithmic cloning. Algorithmic cloning is so fire, bro. When it comes to this, right? Again, it's a clean, clean Wednesday. And I love Wednesdays and Thursdays. We know why. But again, clean liquidity, right? Nothing hard about this at all. And even clean liquidity in Asia, nothing hard about that. But what I'm trying to say, right? You still want to be on your P's and Q's because what do they do, right? You telling me how long is it going to take you to trust this shit? And this is what I was saying earlier. You thought I was fried for a second. No, listen to what I'm telling you, okay? Like I said, what time is this? 9 o'clock, 9:05, 9:15, 9:25. Are you still not going to wait? Or are you still going to wait for 9:50? Are you? Are you? You pressing the button. What happens? Bro, we got done the literal low hanging fruit. We have other targets, of course, like in Asia, but you're thinking this is just going to run to Asia? Fuck no. Fuck no. Not going to do that. It's going to create new liquidity first and then get to your target. But if you're waiting for 950 by itself, that's like your only way you feel you can get in or out of something. Oh, they didn't let me in. They didn't let me in. Yes, they did. Are you new to Turtle Soup? You might be. Now, like we said, right? This is that Thursday. You'll notice something. Now, we left that breaker level, right? What happened in Asia, though? Ooh, Asia and London were going through it, right? But what level is this? What do you get on the level? So again, what I'm looking for you to do. Yes, we're going to micromanage some smaller ranges for other objectives and things we need to do. But what I'm saying right now, as you come into a New York or a London or whatever kill zone that you're looking to use, go onto one of these bigger ranges and start checking the vibe. You're going to notice something, brother. And again, like we said, you're on a liquidity void level. So naturally, if they're not going to give you that straight visual, they're still just going to give you something that's far as fucking shit. Do you catch my drift? Into a kill zone. Check your 729, check your 2187. You will be able to find some cool stuff and give you that kind of vibe going into the session for that day, okay? And again, to end this lecture, I really want to again keep you organized. So, all right, this is what you can mark on your chart, the same shit that I got marked. Okay, so you're ready for next week. Now, like we said, coming into the up and then going downward for you. Okay, we have again on the monthly chart. This is your current DOL. Okay, no, I'm not wrong. Go and check my work. This is your DOL. By the time you've seen this video, well, probably you'd have already been there. So this is my thing, okay? This is your, when I say DOL, this means draw liquidity. This is your target, okay? So sorry, I forget sometimes we have some new traders watching us. So this is cool here. We have this open gap. This is going to be your new magnet. We're going to dig into this a good bit, okay? Your monthly gap is your current draw liquidity. As we go lower, okay, you can see the visual of this, all right? Now, you notice how there's not really like a lot of liquidity above you. Like we have some highs, but again, this is like the highs, right? There is no real upward objective yet until we get to that monthly gap. So again, like your high time frame bias is still sell side, okay? What you can also do is mark that daily gap if you want. That's that daily gap. I'm going to leave it green, or yeah, leave it green. We'll lock it there. Again, we already took again, you would notice if you were in mentorship or Discord, you already know about the targets already, so you guys know about these. We talked about them. So these are all the other smaller targets that we had on the way to this. And like we said, we have some other like this is too small. I don't give a fuck about these lows, no. But this is literally going to be attacked on the same day we get the gap. As we're going here, you see that we are fully expanding from said gap, right? Perfect. In terms of stuff right here, right? Which you can see even from the jump, it's clear sell side order flow still. So until we actually go and start to take out some actual highs, no, I'm not looking to change the order flow just yet. Okay. All this stuff is mitigated, right? These will be used for later when we actually do have a bullish narrative, but not right now. Okay. Now, what you can also be responsible for, all right? Things that we have here. We already took out some of these, again, lows that we had coming from this previous week. And we don't really have any other sell side objectives. But like we said, in terms of that monthly gap, we are not so far away, okay? And if we're able to go, I mean, like thousands of ticks per week or whatever the case is, you know this is not that long, okay? This is probably either less than a week or no less than 2 weeks away. If that, I mean, if that. Fuck around, do this shit on Sunday, literally. But this is what I'm trying to say. Just be aware, keep these objectives on your screen. Oh, you can also start to mark in general. Just because we still have these like smaller buy side liquidities here. You can care about those. Smaller gaps, I'm not going to care so much about at the moment, of course. Again, this perspective for you is going to be 4 hour gap, so you can actually mark it that way. All right. So I know somebody's going to break that down and only mark like 18 gaps there. No, no, fuck all that. And so you see what I'm doing here, okay? I'm showing you what's mitigated and what's not. So we talk about the daily gap, day gap, okay? So that means all this stuff above us here is mitigated. All this stuff here is turtle soup. So all this stuff here is mitigated, okay? Order blocks. Obviously, if you're a fan of order blocks, boom, okay. Again, like I said, everything's mitigated. Trivia question. I'm gonna answer it for you really quick. How many times do order blocks get rebalanced? Your order block is not going to get rebalanced 17 fucking times. You see how this one got rebalanced? One, two. I'm talking like overalls, okay? Like running into it. Two, then an overall three, okay? We don't have a fourth one. If we did, that'd be fine. But never a fifth one. If it is, not a valid order block. All right. So what I'm showing you, everything here is what? Mitigated. Okay. What do I mean by mitigated? That means either removing or using something in here. What do you think this was? Chet you betcha. Another gap and another order block. You feel what I'm saying? So when you get boom right to the top of that one, and then you say boom, you go up again. It's just a big, big, wide range of orders being put in by smart money. It's a huge range. So you see how it's right on the body of that perfectly? Yeah. So you have order blocks and gaps and all this stuff being rebalanced. All this stuff on the top side is fully mitigated. We don't have a reason to go up there, is what the fuck I'm saying. Okay. Now, that being said, okay, is there anything else that we need to mark? I think that's it, brother. Just keep you organized as we go into the next week. Okay. And yeah, so welcome to Q3. All right. The newest mentorship starts. It's like transition week this week, and then like August 1st and then beyond what will be full circle into the next mentorship. There are some spots left or whatever, but I'm not too concerned about um whether it's just Discord only people or if we have like some new people or whatever. That's not my full concern. But yeah, if you're curious about it, just hit me up. And so I just wanted to give you at least like a little NASDAQ update. We'll have another one for gold for you, but I wanted to make sure you get the bulk out the way. All right. So let me go. It's time to go eat some food and get ready for trip. I'll see you guys later. Oh shit. Y'all like to eat.